Hey guys, Huzzy here bringing you another video and welcome to another Challenger Spectate. So today we're actually watching Fnatic Bwipo, who is obviously a Fnatic pro player, but also he is rank 1 Challenger right now on EU West. So he's playing Graves top. Now some people are like, what the hell is this about, Huz? So yeah, it's become a thing. I'm not sure if you define it as a cheese pick or not. Like, it's kind of hard to know. Because, like, Graves is kind of a weird range champion, right? He's kind of like a melee ranged. What I mean by that is he only has 2 auto attacks at any given time because of his shotgun. He also, because it's a shotgun, if you guys don't know how it works, if there is something in between the target he actually wants to attack, his shotgun will only hit the first thing. So if you're, say, a melee champion like Aatrox, you can just hide in your minion wave and be relatively safe to a Graves auto attacks. And obviously his range is actually really low. So if you combine all stuff together, it's kind of like a medium, like a medium between ranged and melee. Like Graves kind of fits in the middle there. So we're going to see what it's about, and that's kind of what this video is going to try and answer. Is I've been seeing Bwipo spam this because I do kind of pay attention to high rating top laners, obviously with some just subbed and I'm not even streaming anymore, but because obviously of rivals, I'm looking into picks on, like, you know, good top laners to be like, what are they playing? And you know, the normals are there, Shen, Jax and all that stuff. But I have look at his level 1, by the way. Look at the aggression level. And if you're wondering, Bwipo has lost out on like 3 minions for doing that. So has Aatrox. Is that worth it? Yes. Why? Because it denies Aatrox in the long term. You're getting his health bar down. Therefore, in the next 3 or 4 minion waves, Aatrox isn't going to be as confident to go for these minions. So yes, 100% that is worth doing. It's, you know, harass. And again, technically, if we are saying that Grave is a ranged kind of champion, that's how you have to play ranged champions top. And worth noting, I'm not against ranged tops. I know there are some top lane mains out there that are like, I hate ranged tops. I'm not. There's always a way to beat them. Obviously, a very effective way in history of them has been doing the rejuve bead. You out-regen their poke, and then you become really tanky, and then usually you can take on a ranged top laner. Graves, as we mentioned, though, is kind of a weird one. This is why I'm kind of interested in it, of like, at least, I don't know if I'd play it, by the way. I'm interested to see what it does. I'm interested to see how it scales. Like, a big question, will he fight the Aatrox this game? Will he kill the Aatrox in a 1v1? Aatrox is known in good top lane circles to being one of the best top laners right now if Aatrox is allowed to play aggressive, and that is the thing. If Aatrox gets behind and, you know, can't do damage, he's gonna suffer. So is Darius, so is Garen, so are the other top laners. But that's how you have to try and play Aatrox. So is Graves a counter to that? Well, let's find out. You know, the enemy team, to be fair, very, very aggro. Aatrox, aggro. Olaf runs at people. Talon, obviously, is Misfits Decay. All-in Assassin. Ezreal Yuumi. Yuumi obviously helps amazingly in mid to late game. If she combines with an Aatrox or an Olaf, that's incredibly scary. So how is this game going to go? You know, I think it's just under a half an hour game. So we will be in late game by then. So I'll be pretty damn interested. So worth noting, as long as Graves is smart, which again, being Bwipo, he will be, saves his E for the Aatrox chain. Because obviously, if Aatrox manages to get on top of Graves, that's the point, then there could be scary time for Graves. But if he saves his E for not getting chained back in to the Q range of Aatrox, I don't see Graves particularly dying in this matchup, at least in the early game. With Aatrox getting an item or 2, who knows? You know, Aatrox is again, he is scary if he, you know, is aggressive and can land on people and stuff. So, yeah. Farm-wise in top lane, even so far. Bot lane's going well. There was a first blood in mid lane earlier, which was a gank from Lee Sin. But, you know, nothing out of the ordinary so far completely. Just a standard game of solo queue so far. Aatrox is biding his time, letting his wave push him, which is both good and smart. Like, Aatrox needs to farm, but how much can Bwipo harass the Aatrox under the tower? That's the thing. But, you know, from I've never seen this pick get played. I haven't had one in one of my games yet. Again, surely Graves isn't great at like picking people under tower compared to other ranged, because if the Aatrox just hides within minions, you can't, you know, Graves' auto attack can't hit people, right? Like, because it's line of sight is what they call it. So, I don't know. Item build, I'd expect a Black Cleaver Rush from Graves. It's a staple item for Graves, even in jungle, so why not? And honestly, and you can see the damage. If Aatrox can land some damage, Graves is in a bit of trouble. He did use his E, does manage to get out of the chain this time, though. But the new Death Dance, it is very good, by the way. Pretty much build it on... or anything that used to build Death's Dance, you're still building Death's Dance, pretty much. And a lot more top laners, and even I'd say junglers potentially, AD champions in general, a lot of those people will be building it, even if you never used to. It's great, you know, it gives you damage, sustain, tankiness. It's got kind of like a lot of, it ticks a lot of boxes. And obviously the item was kind of refreshed to help top lane, to give them a bit more strength in certain avenues, to have damage but still be tanky and stuff like that. So I'm pretty happy with that new item. You know, if you are playing, again, pretty much any bruiser right now, it's a decent item. And, you know, not rushing it, you're not going it first item, but third item, I'd say, on average on most champions. Tomorrow's video, I will say, slight spoiler, I'm playing Alawi on my main account, and I get Death Stance on her. Yeah, very good on Alawi, good on Renekton, Darius, Set, Aatrox, Aurelia even, Jax, yes, Fiora, yes. Like, it'll be hard to find a top laner, like, in that kind of group of champions that wouldn't want it. Wukong, yes, the new Wukong. So, yeah, we'll also mention the replay after this one, because I am going to be recording a few replays. Again, just to remind everybody, with what's going on in the world, I do very highly, you know, we've done 2 videos a day forever. We haven't had a break doing content forever. But League is stressful, and because obviously we have rivals upcoming and everything, that adds stress to me. And also I'm dealing with everything that's going on in the world too. Hopefully you guys just don't mind replay episodes, at least for the second video of the day. If it's more than normal, I apologize. Like if we're doing like 4 replays a week, it's just chill. It's a lot more chill content. It's really educational. And it's what I have always said, it's guaranteed content. You know, when I'm recording this, I know I'm making this video because I know the details of the replay when I'm, you know, opening the replay. So hopefully you guys don't mind that. We'll also mention me and Vixie are planning to start duoing potentially this Sunday. I think, though, on Smurfs, just to have a bit of fun. Obviously build a bit of top lane, mid lane synergy for rivals as well. I will also be looking to start duoing with the other team members too, while a big fight happened, enemy team getting completely caught out. Worth noting, in that whole engage, the Talon was the one that was kind of caught in the enemy territory. He's the one that survives, and the Aatrox is the actual one that gets killed. That's a little bit tilting. Trust me, I know how that feels. Happened to me earlier in solo queue. But yeah, so hopefully you guys don't mind, you know, just those like little announcements I wanted to make. I'm sure the vast majority of you are just grateful for content at the moment during, you know, the craziness that's happening. But I just wanted to let you know, if there are more replays than normal, it's to limit my stress, but also maintain producing content. So yeah, thanks everybody, by the way. The support is insane. And yeah, it means a lot. Anyway, so far, what I would say, nothing seems crazy to me about Graves top. Graves as a champion, people may say, what do I think of Graves as a champion? I think he's strong, but he fits into a certain type of champion that basically he's a power farmer, right? So he in order for him to get strength, he farms, whether he's in jungle or I also presume top. He doesn't get involved that much in early game, I imagine in jungle or top. So I'm just expecting him to farm until like, I don't know, 20 minutes, I'd say, then look to get involved. Maybe he'll look to get some picks because, you know, Graves does have scary pick potential. And wait a minute, Graves' items... So I might be, well, my initial, when we were talking about Death's Dance, might be wrong. Those are components to Death's Dance. He's going aggressive. Okay, here we go. I've been waiting for this. So he's fighting the Aatrox, does a bit of damage. Nothing overly, though. The Aatrox is fine. Doesn't need to pop ultimate. Well, it doesn't have ultimate, I don't think, available. But yeah, not going to die or anything. But yeah, those components, those are Death's Dance components. Maybe that's why Graves top has become a thing. Maybe building Death's Dance with having the tank stats now gives you the sustain you want in top lane, gives you the cooldown reduction that obviously Graves needs, and gives you the survivability, whatever the hell that word is. It gives you that because obviously you're building, you know, tank items with the new Death Stance. Maybe it gives you enough survivability that Graves could just go top lane and free farm. And obviously fight potentially when he gets it. But yeah, I'm interested in this now, more actually than I thought. Would I play it though? Maybe. I'm not going to say no. It's not out the realm of possibility. If I'm honest, I'd love to play Graves. Some people say there is a certain skin of Graves that I resemble. Oh! Oh, snap. Okay, a lot just happened there. So, Aatrox mucked up. Is the gist of what just happened. So Aatrox was disrespecting, I think, the Graves, thinking, he's not going to kill me. Meanwhile, double kill happening the bottom side of the map. 4v2 in bot lane, by the way. But yeah, the Aatrox, I think, was just underestimating that, you know, this Graves isn't going to go for me. And he did. Then the Aatrox did flash the Graves ultimate, but flashed, obviously, had to dodge it, had to flash kind of over it. And flashing over it made him in auto-attack range, in essence. So that was kind of crazy, but that is the first solo kill that we've seen of Graves in the 1v1. But worth saying, it was in a bit of a weird situation. So I think Graves, Aatrox was like half health in that, and then Graves did a bit of a trade. So it wasn't like a complete all-in, both were 100%, they have a fight and one person ends up dead. But I think that's the point of this pick. It's not supposed to be two bruisers, like let's say a Renekton versus an Aatrox, they both pop their ultimate and they both whack each other over the head for a while, one of them's going to die. That's not what Graves does, right? He's a ranged champion, kinda. So he has to poke, abuse the fact that he has a slight range advantage, and then go for the all-in eventually, probably looking around that half health mark. So that's the point. Which I guess is familiar or similar to a lot of the other ranged champions in top lane, is usually they don't win an all-in. That is, I'd say, the only issue I would ever have with a ranged top laner, because I'm fine with them. If you're a great melee player, you will beat most ranged top laners if you play the all-in correctly. But that's the point. If you have an all-in as a melee top laner, an all-in, and you're fighting the ranged top laner, and they can practically stand still and still kill you, that's probably a problem. Probably a problem, sure. Meanwhile, Aatrox gone for a big roaming play, so maybe the enemy team feels the need to actually go for this. Graves now coming for the teleport, gets exhausted, gets a help or assist there. It's going to continue. Enemy team is dropping like flies. So Bwipo gets himself, I think, 3 assists for that teleport. Enemy team, a lot of them dead. Didn't go well for them. Little bit of a weird play, if I'm honest. You know, there's no dragon that's about to spawn. There's no tower that's going to be taken because of that play. So I'm not really sure why the enemy team was so desperate for that. And by the way, like, that play was planned. And what I mean by that, Aatrox's top lane walked the whole way down with the Olaf together. So that was, you know, planned. They were like, right, let's do this. And it just didn't go very well. Don't know what the hell the Olaf's doing. I guess just, well, that was his base. Oh, the replays are still bugged, by the way. Riot, fix the replays, please. Like, not getting half the animations is a little bit triggering. So the dragon is spawning now in 30 seconds, by the way. Bwipo now has flipped over to bot side, which is a bit of a weird time for it to flip. Normally, and I will just make the point clear, meanwhile there is some picks happening in mid. Normally, the top laners come bot when, usually it's when one of the bot lanes has died and the enemy bot lane go top. So blue bot lane should be top lane right now to kill the tower, but no, Talon is. So it's a bit weird. It's like a bit preemptive, I guess. Like Graves was, all right, I'm bot lane because of that play. I'm going to stay bot lane. Worth noting, we've always said it about the best players when we're over watching them. What do they always do? They maximize gold income. You never see a jungler waiting in a bush more for 30 seconds. Anyway, dive actually going to happen. They're going to focus kill the tower first. Very smart. Kill the tower first. Now Aatrox doesn't have the tower to help him. Will Aatrox get away? He has teleport soon. He's going to ult to get the movement speed. Lee Sin going to land the Q, which is clutch. Graves going to do a bit of damage. Leona going to get her CC in. Graves popping his ultimate, and Graves will finish the kill, getting himself on a 303 KDA right now, which is obviously really good. That pick, by the way, probably opens up Dragon, even though, weirdly, they killed Syndra in mid, but then didn't go over to get Dragon pressure. Lee Sin just flashed on the spot. challenger, by the way. But yeah, so that was kind of weird. The blue team got a good pick, but then didn't go over to get the priority on Dragon. So that just left open the Dragon for red team after they killed Aatrox. A bit weird. Like, I don't know. Dragons to me are quite important, especially for the blue team that lost the first dragon. You know, if you lose the first dragon, if you get the second one, well, then at least you have one dragon each. You know, the enemy team isn't 2 dragons ahead, which seems like a lot. So that's odd. But yeah, holy moly, yes, Death's Dance Rush on Graves. I'm very interested by this. So in theory, this gives Graves 50 attack damage. He's tanky, like damage. It gives him 30 armor and magic resist, which actually is a decent amount. 10% cooldown reduction. And then he heals for 15% of damage dealt. And it's, well, 33% of that is effective in area effect, which obviously is a lot of Graves' damage. But then unique passive, 20% of damage taken is dealt as a bleed over instead of a, So basically, he gets bursted less, does Graves. I think that's what makes this work top lane. Because he's less squishy. You know, you think, oh, you're playing an AD carry kind of technically. Top lane, you're just going to get one shot. Hell, this could... You know, I've said for ages, I don't rate picks like Lucian and stuff like that in mid lane. Because you're legit taking a champion in a role that they're designed to get killed in. Death's Dance could be the answer. Like, that could actually make, like, Lucian mid, in my eyes, viable because you're less squishy. Enemy team, red team going to go for the Aatrox, do get him. I think Lee Sin could have actually run back to safety, but he doesn't. Syndra gets caught because she walked in the jungle and there was a Talon waiting in the jungle. Olaf instead, well, weirdly enough, the enemy team, meanwhile Yuumi panics, the enemy team spawned, I think, the Rift Herald, but it completely wasted it. Lee Sin's going to try and time out that he doesn't obviously get, or does a shutdown. Graves going aggressive, enemy team is looking to go for him. Can he get away? He has to use the flash. And Lee Sin, by the way, basing... How BM is that base, man? They have full vision of that. He just based right next to their Nexus at 17 minutes. That's hilarious. Anyway, Graves going to go back. By the way, has the average... the executions, like, he had that ages ago. Naturally, it's a big counter to Aatrox. Aatrox, if memory serves correct, I guess, like, well, we can't look at it now because I don't have vision. Aatrox heals for, like, a percentage of how much damage he deals as well. Like, maybe it's 20%, 30%, and can combine that with a Death's Dance on Aatrox too. You're healing for, like, I don't know, near 50% of the damage you're dealing. That's scary. Without technically lifesteal, right? You know, that's ignoring the actual lifesteal. Oh no, lifesteal is off. Oh, snap. There's no actual lifesteal on Death's Dance anymore because you're getting the 15% of healing. Oh, interesting. That's kind of cool, actually. Never mind. So, Black Cleaver, I'd imagine, is next, by the way, for Graves. It's a staple item for him. That's what I thought he was going to rush, but obviously the Death's Dance is kind of the big thing here. So, Black Cleaver will be next. I honestly think, you know, look at the farm, look at the level advantage. I do think Graves probably has killing pressure over Aatrox right now, even in an all-in. And I think that's fine. You know, we said earlier, oh, if a ranged champion could just stand still. Sure, but this is a 2-5 Aatrox versus a 3-0 Graves, 2-level advantage. Like, way far ahead is the Graves. So if Graves could basically stand still and kill this Aatrox, I'm fine with it, even though he's ranged. They do kill the Aatrox again, by the way, but they are now on the back foot. Leona gets killed. Kai'Sa's being run down. Talon, oh, and Olaf. Will Graves come out with this in a kill? Nearly gets one kill, does die in the end. But look how much damage he dealt. In a 2v1, nearly kills the Talon. Nearly half health the Olaf. That's not bad. And now the enemy team is going to go for it. They get one. Graves got an assist. Graves gets 2 assists. That is what you call worth, ladies and gentlemen. That death from Graves, 100% worth. That's when you're maximizing, well, not maximizing, but that's when you're like looking at the negative and you're looking at the positive, and the positive now outweighs the negative. You dead, 1, 2 of them dead, more gold, and you got 2 assists. Hell yeah, that's good. That's a good death. Anyway, Syndra going to go for the tier 2, does get it. Aatrox, again, very unfortunately far behind, and this is the point. Aatrox is known as a really strong top laner. I think we even said it earlier, unless he gets behind. Which, again, is the same for most top laners. If a Darius gets behind, he's like, well, I'm a Darius. The only way I do damage is going all in, and I'm really far behind. Oh, I'm just going to die over and over and over again. Okay, cool. And again, that's not inting, but what else can you do as Darius? You're a melee champion. If you're far behind, you're just incredibly weak. Enemy team getting caught. Nice Leona E. Lee Sin gets a kill. Yuumi gonna die too. Again, Yuumi, I just say, is the buy one, get one free support. You kill the AD carry combined with Yuumi, and you buy one, you get one free. You get the Yuumi kill as well, which is really nice, and they do get both of them. Graves obviously helping with damage there. 8 assists, by the way, and that's been another difference that you can't argue in this game. The farm is higher for Graves. The kills are higher, but the whole, in general, kill participation is higher. Aatrox has been involved in 4 kills this game. 2 kills, 2 assists. Graves has been involved in 11. Like, more than double, nearly triple. You can't even argue with that. So it's just been a way better performance for Bwipo this game on Graves than the Aatrox. And I don't think it's necessarily because, oh, he's a ranged champion. Like, it's not that simple. It's just being playing better, playing smarter, farming, waiting for strength. And sometimes you can argue the point that a ranged champion can get assists easier, which is true. All a ranged champion needs to do, and like any champion, to get an assist on a kill, you just need to get an auto attack on, right? Just one little auto attack or one ability that just hits that champion. Well, for Aatrox to hit a champion, he has to hit them basically in melee range. Like, he has to, like, bonk with his sword or hit his W, which is a skilly skill shot. For Graves, sure, he's not the longest range champion, but it's a lot easier to go bang with an auto attack that has a ranged attack than Aatrox actually going right next to somebody to land it. Or even Graves, if he just throws out his W, which has decent range to it, he then gets an assist if someone else gets the kill. So that is something that's worth noting. That is an easier aspect of ranged champions. It's easier to get gold. It's easier technically to get kills, but the trade-off because of it, Talon's going to go for the all-in on Graves. Let's see what happens. With the Ignite, doesn't kill him. Again, why doesn't he kill him, by the way, everybody? Not yet. Oh, Bwipo outplays the Talon. Olaf now in the area too. I can 100% say, without any doubt in my mind, that kill was possible because of Death's Dance. Olaf, angry boy, is going to get the kill with the flash, with the Ignite, but that potentially opens up Baron now for Red Team. Oh my god, I'm hyped. I actually want to try this. Am I crazy? I want to try it. 100%. The reason that Talon didn't kill Graves then, and Graves did kill Talon, was this item, Death's Dance. Because you're getting tanky items that you normally never got on Graves, right? But also, not just the tankiness of it. Talon is a burst assassin, right? He bursts people. It's a bang, you're dead. The Death's Dance item makes you less burstable. 20% of your damage taken is dealt over as a dot over time for 3 seconds rather than instant damage. So in those 3 seconds that you're taking that damage, you can lifesteal. You can heal it back. It's not instant. So 100%, I'm like, damn. Like, whoever thought of this, man. Like, what I will say, I think people know, I'm not a massive person of like moving away from like the norm meta. Like I like my bruiser tanks in top lane. I like my my aggressive junglers. I like my mages in mid. I like my AD carries and I like my supports. I like the game that works it kind of normal. But I do give props to people that like think of something like, oh, this new Death's Dance. Okay, what could that be used for? Graves. Like, I don't have that skill. I know I don't. Anyway, Talon going with the Yuumi all in. Talon actually getting nearly killed straight away. Again, look at the damage. Gets 1 kill. And now buy one, get one free, baby. Double kill for Graves. Again, with the tankiness. Can't get bursted. Talon can't kill Graves. Woo-wee. This opens up a lot of things, man. Like, worth noting, why I'm actually kind of like, this is kind of crazy. Maybe this item is too big, too strong. Because what is stopping AD carry? Like, it doesn't say melee only, right? Is it melee only? On the... Oh, okay, if it was... I would think if it was melee only... Because, again, people say you're watching Graves. Graves may be technically a melee champion. There are some champions that are weird line in Riot's coding. So on coding, he might be a melee champion. But if it isn't ranged only, why does Ezreal E... Okay, Ezreal kind of entered that. Graves, by the way, doing a lot of damage in the background. 2 kills for Red Team. They now need to wait for the minion wave if they want to break into the base. Blue buff for Graves, which is always nice when he's low on mana. But if it's not a melee-only item, what is stopping AD carries buying it against assassins? You know, if you're an AD carry, a lot of the time you're like, oh, dude, the Zed on the enemy team or the Talon on the enemy team. Death Dance. Like, it gives you... You're still building a damage item. You're building a sustain item. You're building an item that gives you tankiness, stats. And also, the 20% damage taken over time instead of burst. You're less burstable. A lot of the time, it's that little... That 20% extra is what kills you. I'm really interested in this, which is cool. Right, Lee Sin going to chase down the Olaf. 2-level advantage, by the way, in the jungle right now. Yuumi knows, dude. If you die, Olaf, I'm dead too, buddy. Can you please not die? Graves snipes. Again, that's, again, what a ranged champion can do. Aatrox can't do that. That is the advantage of a ranged champion. Kai'Sa goes a bit aggressive, does get herself killed. Super minions flooding into their base. But Dragon, obviously, is now the prime target for the red team, which will now give them any second. Wait for it. Any moment. The Water Dragon Soul. So there we go. So Water Dragon Soul now obtained for red team. Again, what does that do? Water Dragon Soul, if memory serves correct, is a sustain. You know, it's basically like a mini Warmogs for everybody. I'm not sure if we can find it anywhere. Oh, yeah, you go. Regenerate. So 150, 30, whatever health. So add that all up. So he's regenning roughly 230, 240 health. And plus mana, 110 mana, roughly 112 mana, over 4 seconds after damaging an enemy. It's basically an in-combat Warmogs, because obviously Warmogs regeneration only works out of combat. This is like a toned down. Meanwhile, Talon, I don't know why Talon is trying to fly. Look at this. What's the point? Oh, okay, here we go. What can Graves do versus all of the enemy team? Level 17 does get ignited, doesn't die, by the way, which is a bit surprising because of all that. And that has just opened up the whole enemy team to potentially have a fight. So red team versus blue team. Lee Sin going to go for the Talon. Has to be patient because Talon's just going to go over the wall. Graves now teleporting back in. Ezreal, again, Eing aggressively, which is a little bit whatever's. Yuumi does die. Buy one, get one free. And again, Baron is the call. Do they need this Baron? Look what's happening in the enemy base. Why do you need this Baron? Just go end the game. Meanwhile, Graves gets another kill, makes himself double digits on kills, and that is the surrender vote. So 10 to 11 Graves, 255 farm. Honestly, really good. So, yeah, I'm kind of impressed. You know, Bwipo played it well naturally, but this whole pick worked 100% because of Death's Dance. There were several instances this game, especially when it came to the Talon twice, at least twice. Once when he just went by himself, the second time when the Yuumi was with him. Both of those times, Graves killed Talon because he had Death's Dance. 100%. There's not even a doubt in my mind. That's cool. Like, that is cool. Wow. But yeah, you can see, by the way, Aatrox has also completed his Death's Dance because, like, every top laner is going to be building it now. But that's going to be it. If you guys did enjoy and you've learned something new, hopefully you did because it's a relatively new pick, throw a like on the video, throw a comment, throw a subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.